Hello, welcome back. This is Zachary. We're going to go to our second tutorial. And you see that I've already created a folder called CSV jobs. And we're going to use the data that we created earlier from the person CSV file data. So we're going to go here to our folder. We're going to right click. We're going to click Create Job. CSV file to display on console. Okay. Purpose. Display data on console. Description, we're going to use the components. We're going to use the components. File input delimited and tLog row and tLog row. Again, the version is 0.1. We can change the version, major or minor, but we won't do it right now. Again, workspace opens up. We will use the palette this time. We'll say tFileInput search. And here you see the tFileDelimited is available. Click on it and we can just paste it inside. Okay. And again, it's asking us saying no schema has been defined. By schema, we mean file. We mean no column names have been defined for this particular file. And again, we're going to use the data from here. So when we click on this, we can open it up and we'll see that these are our column names. So we click on it, you see the highlighted, we see the component tab is open up, and we need to identify the location of where we're going to get the file from. And we're going to get it from here. Shows us the location. We defined the separator in the first video, and we defined, the row separator and the field separator. And over here in header, we're just going to say 1 because that's going to have the name of our columns or our headers. Okay. You notice now it just says, we got to have outputs and we got to have a schema. So let's go ahead and define the schema. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have ID. We have first name. We have second name. I'm sorry, not second name, but last name. We got street address. We got city and state. And state. Remember, ID was an integer. So let's make it an integer. And these are strings or varchars. Just going to give them some lengths. I'm going to say 75, 75, 75, 75, and 50. And we're going to say, okay. Okay. It tells us now that we don't have any output links. So we need an output link. In this tutorial, we're going to use the console, which we call the tLog row. The tLog row displays the data in the run job console. That's what we mean by console. And you notice here it says, hey, we should have some input links. We right click on our file input, select row. We're going to select main. And we're going to double click on our row component. And the only thing we want to change in the row component is just the table format. We can sync columns, and when we sync columns, again, you see we have an input, and the input matches the output. Okay? So let's run that job. Run it. And notice here we have in table format our data. But remember, we have to do best practices in Talon, and whenever we link two components, we have a job, actually a subjob. So let's click on that. Let's give our subjob a title, display data to console. To console. Here we're not going to use the message box simply because we used the message box in the simply because we used it previously, and we can see the actual end of our job if we're writing it to the console. So I'm not going to do that. And I'm going to create a note. And I'm just going to write in the note of the component. Second tutorial. Display data to console. So what we learned in this tutorial is how to use the file input delimiter, how to use the tlog row, how to pull the data from the palette, okay, and how to display it on the console in the Run tab.